Glenavon has just lost 1-0 to Larne here at Warrenview Park, and with Colin Coates, he has kindly agreed to speak to us. Colin, your reflections on the game?
Disappointing, obviously, with the result. To lose here 1-0 today, I thought we probably didn't deserve that in terms of you look at the overall game. I thought we were very good for the majority of the game. We probably had only the few chances that were in the game. We probably fell our way. Michael O'Connor scored in the first half. It was disallowed for offside, which I haven't seen back yet. And we've had one or two other chances in around the 6-yard box. It just didn't fall for us and limited Larne to very, very little. And unfortunately today we've made a wee bit of an individual error has cost us the goal, and it's disappointing because it's probably happened now a couple of times over the last few weeks. So it's something we need to address. But in terms of the overall level of performance, I thought the players were excellent again. In difficult conditions, difficult pitch, difficult weather, I thought we were acquitted ourselves really well, played some good football, but probably a wee bit wasteful in the final third with some of the decision making. Again, something we need to work on and address. But in terms of all that effort, commitment, desire from the players, and quality as well, I thought we were very good.
We were without Chris Atherton today, Niall Quinn, a few others absent as well. How big a difference did that make, do you think?
I think when you lose players of Niall Quinn and Chrissy Atherton and Paul McGovern and Isaac Bird as well, he's out. You miss those players, but in football you're always going to miss players at some point. People are going to pick up injuries, suspensions, and Chris Atherton, Paul McGovern, and Ben Wilson were away with the Northern Ireland under-17s this week, and we felt we wanted to get the game played. We wanted to go ahead and play anyway. So those boys are in there on merit, and it's good to see those lads away representing their country. Niall Quinn's got a wee bit of a hamstring issue, and Isaac Bird the same. So we're missing one or two there that would obviously strengthen the team and the squad. But look, that's football. We have more than enough quality there to go and get a result.
How disappointing was it not to score in the first half?
It was frustrating. I thought we played really well. Probably with the better side, created the better chances. Michael O'Connor has scored, disallowed, and it looked to be, from our position, he maybe looked to be onside again. I haven't seen it back, so I'm looking forward to seeing that back. But we had one cleared off the line as well. So we were probably had the few chances that were in the game we had, and we were probably in the ascendancy for most of that half. But we just, like I say earlier, we just didn't maybe pick the right pass at the right time, or probably be clinical enough in terms of our decision making and our execution in the final third.
Do you think we created enough opportunities during the game to merit the win?
Well, you only need one opportunity to win a game if you take it. So it's all in the balance of the game. When you look at it, I think Larne maybe created one that they scored from, and maybe one other half chance in the whole game. And they've come out winners. We've probably created maybe 3 or 4 chances in the game and haven't been able to take them. So obviously you always want to create numerous chances within the game, but sometimes the way the game pans out just doesn't allow that. I thought it was nip and tuck. Today there wasn't much in the game, but with us being in the ascendancy, but yeah, it's something we need to look at. We made a lot of entries into the final third, but we just didn't make enough of them in terms of the quality of the cross or the pass, or like I say, that decision just maybe not being spot on, and it just didn't quite happen for us in the final third.
That's a 1-0 defeat to Crusaders, Coleraine and Larne in our last 3 home games. How frustrating is that?
Yeah, it is frustrating, and even you can throw in the defeat. I think last week, the Linfield, the 2-0 was disappointing in how it came about. And the draw at Glentoran, where you're looking back on, we probably should have probably taken all 3 in that game. So no, it's been a frustrating wee period of time just between maybe referees' decisions not quite going our way, not taking the chances when they come along, and then maybe being really severely punished every time we were maybe making an individual error. We're being punished for it. So it's a wee bit of a frustrating time that way. But when you look at the bigger picture and take a step back and you look at the players' performance levels, they're pleasing. They're really good. There's no doubt there's aspects that we want to improve on. Obviously creating more chances in that final third and going scoring goals, which to be fair we had been, up until the last sort of few weeks. So no, there's plenty to work on, but also plenty to be positive about. What the players have done since we have come in has been incredible, really. When we first came in, the league position and where we were, and what was kind of going on in the previous games in terms of goal scoring was difficult. So no real credit to the players and what they've achieved, but we've came up a wee bit short just in terms of really pushing on and trying to get into that top 6. A few weeks ago, and then obviously now it's going to be difficult for us to get 7th place too in terms of European playoff, but. in terms of looking at the bigger picture since we've come in, it's been really good, and we're pleased with the reaction of the players over the last few months.
And what do you do on the training pitch to turn those defeats into draws and draws into wins?
Yeah, so there's loads of different things you're doing. You know, you're doing a lot of video analysis. You know, we'll look back on aspects of the game that we thought went well, things that maybe we didn't think went quite as well, and areas to improve. We do a lot of individual analysis too, you know, with the players, where we can send stuff out for them to have a to review themselves and give them some pointers that way. And obviously in the training pitch, we do working on defensive aspects all the time. You know, we overload defenders, you know, maybe 4v3s, all these type of things. And then we do that the same in an attacking sense. So, no, we work hard on lots of different aspects of the game. A lot of possession-based stuff, which I think is translated in the pitch. And I think we play some good football. I think we keep the ball really well. It's not enough to win football matches, just to play nice football and to keep it. We're well aware that we've got to be ruthless on both ends of the pitch, and probably for the last couple of weeks we've just not been ruthless enough to really, you know, go and win games.
So now we're going into the final 5 games of the season. What's the mood like ahead of those fixtures?
I think right now, immediately after the game today, there's obviously disappointment from that, so the mood's a wee bit flat. But we get the boys in to train again next week, and we'll get them going. You know, they're a brilliant group of players. You know, to be fair, they're great lads. They're really tight knit. They work really really hard. You know, just whatever the conditions are, you know, in training nights, they're out there. They're a really good group. So no, I don't think there'll be any issues with getting the boys bouncing back again and looking forward to the games. We've a wee bit of a break now, 2 weeks, I think it is, before we have that first game away to Portadown, which is obviously a big derby game. So, you know, it's a big game in Mid Ulster. So we'll be looking to go down there and obviously bounce back from this defeat. The 2 weeks might give us a window to try and get one or two bodies, you know, that are out available again, and we'll have the young lads back for the 17th. So no, looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to all the games really. You know, depending on how things go over the next few weeks, it might be an opportunity to test one or two of the young lads, which is always good. It's always good to see young players come through, and you know, the next sort of line of good young players with plenty here. So it'll be good to get a wee look at them if the opportunity arises. Again, we need to just make sure we're mathematically secure in terms of Carrick being unable to catches. But once we hopefully deal with that as soon as we possibly can, then we can really start to look at the young lads for next year.
Colin, thanks very much for talking to us, and all the best for the rest of the season.
No problem. Brilliant. Thank you.